In the meantime, Google earnings prove that online advertising is real and lucrative. Unfortunately for Google, its soaring costs are even more real. To Deep Digital Chairman Dave Maney. Dave, gone are the days where we thought you couldn't make a lot of money online, and I mean a lot of money. And Google is doing that, in fistfuls. But the costs were the factor. But I think the thing to focus on, I'm not a Google or Alphabet shareholder, is that this is real. Online revenue is real, isn't it?
Oh, sure it is. I almost think the thing to focus on, Neil, might be the next iteration, which is increasingly, it's my opinion that these giants of the tech landscape, which we call the FANG stocks, maybe minus Netflix, but they are increasingly coming into conflict and competition with each other. You just heard that about the Microsoft thing, which is a slightly different thing. But what I'm seeing is that we're moving to this state which one journalist has called surveillance capitalism, which is how much information can I know about everything that's going on in the world and everything in your life, and how can I monetize that? And what it appears to me is that there is increasingly direct head-to-head competition in this surveillance capitalism world from Google, from Apple, from Amazon, and from Facebook. They all want to know the same things, and they all want to sell the same things to make their revenue lines and to make their profits. And the more that they clash and the more they butt heads, the more you're going to see earnings announcements like this, where it costs more to compete than it does to be a monopolist.
When you look at those so-called FANG stocks, and of course they've been a great ride. Now and then one or two, are out of sync with the others. But by and large, had you stuck with these names through it all, you'd be up a lot. Now I'm wondering if you sort of readjust that going forward, if you think it's just FAN and drop the G, or you know what I mean? Like, how do you play that going forward? They've all had double-digit run-ups, some doubling in that interim of this rally. What do you think?
I think they are moving from a time when they are unbelievable engines of incredible growth to a time when they're maturing, and they're also, and this is really important, it is becoming a more competitive landscape. And so if I were to answer your question directly, how do you think about them? And I'm not really, I'm not a portfolio manager. I'm a technology guy. But if I look at how I would think about the companies, it now starts to look more like what the story was with the big three automakers 30 years ago, which is who do you like and who's got good models, and maybe one's a little better than the other, but they're all going to rise and fall on the same tide because they are in the same businesses. They got there with different platforms. Google started with search, Facebook with your network, Apple with hardware, Amazon with retail, but they are all converging on exactly the same space. And so you're going to have to make your allocations thinking of that as one space, not four different ones.
All right, Dave. Always a pleasure talking, my friend. Thank you very much. Dave Maney on all of this.